Hello, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor Habson. Thanks for tuning in today. So, I'm going to give you some free light works with the light flashing through, free special effects, I mean to say. So, just thought I'd share something with everybody. So, in the Bible, when Joseph is finally in Egypt, and he was made, if you don't know the story, look it up, but he's made king, basically in charge of the land. And then his brothers, they say, okay, go back to go back to your father and tell him I'm alive, and here's his treasure to go with you, and on the way, don't quarrel, don't fight, do not quarrel. And why would that be important, right? Why is it important to not quarrel as brothers along the way? Just thought I'd talk about that for a minute, because let's say you're going to do an errand, but let's say you're on a mission, you're going to do something, whatever it is. You're going to buy your daughter or son balloons for their birthday. That's a nice gesture. But in between, on the way, you get cut off, and then you know the place is closing soon, and you're gonna cut somebody else off, and you get upset, and then you're yelling, and then you get there, and the place is gonna close, and then you end up saying, hey, so now you're a little cold about it, like, I just want to get this, and there's a line, and so wait a second, now I gotta wait in the line, and the place is closing. Are they gonna sell me my balloons? And now now I'm getting more upset. I hate waiting in line, and now they got the wrong balloon. I wanted the balloon that says happy birthday. It's another one that says this and it doesn't say that. So you can imagine, now instead of making this a joyful endeavor where you're buying balloons, and what happened, life got in the way, but if we're practicing mindfulness on a daily basis, you're practicing mindfulness, you need to practice it in between the doing things. That's the time that we need to practice the mindfulness. The mindfulness is the in-between things. You're making those moments as important as the other moments, because when you think about it, when are you alive? You're alive now. Isn't this the most important time? When can you affect things? Now. So being mindful and being present brings greater things into your life than not. So when Joseph's telling his brothers not to quarrel along the way, to go tell their father the good news that he's still alive, that just is such a positive thing to say, and being, godly, and being mindful, and saying, hey, don't argue along the way. And that's my command to give to you. He's saying to his brothers, do not quarrel along the way. So I think it's super important that we have that forgiveness for each other in our hearts, and then we ended up not quarreling along the way, because you have a destination and you're traveling to it. But a lot of people forget that life is the journey, and what is the destination? Everybody says, well, I have this important meeting to do. So then in between the important meeting and the other important meeting, what about the other things? What if something was really important, but you didn't pay attention because you're only paying attention to one thing? So the point is that when people set priorities for certain things, and you really have to watch it, because there's a whole world going by, and your life's going by, but a lot of people aren't living it. So a lot of people with narrow focus, make a lot of money. I understand. They're focused on one thing. They want that money. They want that, whatever it is. And they're focused in on that one thing, and they get good at it, which is great. And then you get good at it. But what happens is, you're missing out on a lot of other things for the experience of life. So I know people that have, certain Asperger's, certain syndromes, and they're very successful. But what they're doing is they just focus in on one thing obsessively, and that's their job. And a lot of them translate to a job, and they do that successfully, but then they don't have a life around it, So unfortunately, that's the only way they can do it. Most likely, you have the ability to multitask a little bit. In a way, what I'm saying is, try to live life and enjoy it, and from one point to another, being more mindful. And if you want to be more spiritual on the way, the trick is to find forgiveness, and find forgiveness from God for our sins, and we're going to turn towards God and say, I'm sorry for what I did. And that's super important as well, because most people are going around thinking they're good all the time, and they're not. Who gave you that idea? People think that they're good, they're feeling okay, but in actuality, you don't know what you did wrong. Sometimes if you pray on it, you'll find out what you did wrong. But it's important to find forgiveness, because the way it is, time is short always, and the time is now. So seek forgiveness, and if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't given to a charity this week, I definitely recommend doing it. And you don't have to announce it. The best way to do it is keep it quiet. Just give to a charity a little bit, whatever. Every little bit helps. And Feeding America, I always think that's a great one. I heard they give a lot of the money to the charity itself, versus other charities like UNICEF, where 90% of it goes to infrastructure, as I heard. It's these charities that really get people, like when you're donating the clothes. There's this one that's called Goodwill, and I don't think any of that money goes to charity. All of it goes to the owner of Goodwill. So you have to figure out the right charity and what you're going to do. Last things, I did say over a year and a half ago, I came out with, I say a lot of things in my videos, and one of the things I said, that the virus really came from a lab, as far as I understood it. I did a lot of research at the time, and I said you're being lied to, and then I was harassed about that, and now it's coming out that everybody's talking about that. But I do say a lot of things on my channel, and sometimes I talk about things about political things, what's happening in the world, and so far really everything I'm saying is correct, and I said things ahead of time. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.